Welcome to Eccleston Piano Teacher. This is a very brief chat about how we assess our progress in playing the piano, and indeed in any musical instrument, whether it is violin, clarinet or guitar. Now, sometimes I think some people think in the first 3 months I'm going to master reading the notes, treble clef, bass clef, and then I'll proceed to master rhythm, and then I'll proceed to master playing hands together. And then I never need to think about that again. If you've been playing piano for any length of time, say a year or two, you will understand that it just doesn't work that way. You are constantly working on a number of things, constantly as you're learning piano. So for example, the issues that we're always having to think about to varying degrees, depending on the piece, is pitch, how high or how low the notes are, just getting the notes correct. Reading the clef, so the theory side of things, in terms of reading the page, whether it's scales or actual pieces. The rhythms, handling dotted notes, handling syncopation. That is a lifetime of study and practice for most people that I've ever worked with in my capacity as a teacher. It's not that you get it nailed in the first 6 months and then you never really have to think about rhythm again. It just doesn't work that way. You're constantly progressing with more interesting and more difficult rhythms. Also playing the pedals, whether it's 2 pedals or 3 pedals on your piano. Coordination of the hands. You know, as pieces get harder, you'll find sometimes getting the hands to work together. Legato, staccato. Confidence in playing in front of other people. So that's just a fairly short list of the issues that we're constantly wrestling with in learning to play the piano. And we're taking little steps forward as the weeks and months go by. It's not as if, just to repeat myself, you conquer one aspect and then you can move on to the next aspect. You can with pieces. So one little short piece of 8 bars long, you may have that to a reasonable extent, and then you move on to the next piece. Fair enough. But you're always going to be inching forward with any number of issues, whether it's pitch, rhythm, playing with the pedals. So I would encourage you just to accept that and to relish the challenge of constantly improving your technique, your confidence in playing in front of other people. And don't beat yourself up because you're constantly having to revisit an aspect of technique or rhythm which you had thought to have got conquered perhaps 6 months previous. I'm afraid for the vast majority of us, we're creeping forward with a whole range of issues, really for the whole of our musical lives. So be encouraged and keep on practicing.